Hello, my children, and people that should be my children, which is, you're either one of those. Today, I'll be answering some very special prayers. Well, of course, all prayers are very special. But this prayer in particular, that I received from quite a few of you, was, is it okay with me if you smoke weed? Now, this is not weed, but if it was, you should know that it's do as I say, not as I do. I'm pretty sure you picked that up if you've ever read the Bible. I do a lot of shit that you can't, because I'm God, and you're not. You are to be obedient to me. And I'm just here to help you be obedient to me so I don't have to kill you. Before we address this question, we will talk about the spiritual sponsors of the show, Beck's non-alcoholic beer. It's like O'Doul's, but for God. It tastes just like the real thing. As you may know, I had to quit drinking because I was neglecting my duties as the Son of Man and the Son of God. It's kind of weird that they say Son of Man and Son of God. Is man God? Is God man? What's going on? Woo! But I have been working out. You may notice that shit. Yeah. You'll be getting the Jesus workout in some later videos for you that subscribe, and if you don't, you'll probably go to hell. But to get back to the question of is it okay for you to smoke weed? It's not a yes or no thing. There's some pretty clear things in the Bible, like if you deny that that I am the Messiah, then you're going to go to hell. If you don't care for the sick, if you turn away refugees, if you don't visit people in jail, you're going to go to hell. Like I said that very clearly in the Bible. Smoking weed is not so clear of an issue because, well, it wasn't really a thing at the time. The guidance we do have is, your body is my temple. So you need to keep that shit in good working order. And you may also point out that, well, doesn't that mean you can't eat fast food or you can't sit around and binge watch whatever it is that you guys watch because that's not good for your body? Well, yeah, you could use that same metric for beer, weed, watching TV, not getting enough exercise, whatever. There are things that are bad for your mind and body, and so your job is to keep your body in good working order because it's my temple. So the question isn't whether or not it's okay to smoke weed, it's what is it doing, why are you doing it, what's the effect of it. For example, if you're one of those people that prays to me and goes to church and comes home and drinks some beers and then continues to pray to me, well, and does the things that good Christians do, then it's okay for you to drink. However, if you drink a lot and become a dick and you're like, refugees, not in my country, I don't care what the Bible says about it, well then you shouldn't drink because you're an asshole and you're going to go to hell. And weed is pretty much the same thing, except for the group of people in which weed turns into an asshole is significantly smaller than alcohol for fairly obvious reasons. Weed generally doesn't have a lot of significant health effects on people. There are people that shouldn't smoke weed. We'll get to that later, but they're stereotypical people that just smoke weed and don't do anything. But those people often have other problems that aren't being addressed, and they're using weed as a like a coping mechanism, and not effectively either. We'll get to that later. There are people that weed is actually an empowering thing. People with certain psychological disorders, whether it be depression or anxiety, borderline personality, post-traumatic stress disorder, and the weed actually helps treat the symptoms of that and enables you to go to work, take care of your family, give me money on Sunday, stuff like that. Then definitely you should. And you point out, well, the Bible says that you're supposed to obey, your earthly authorities. Well, there's earthly authorities that say you're not supposed to worship me. So it's a question of, what the Bible says versus what earthly authority says or whatever. Fuck the law if the law is going to be a dick. So yeah, the very basic metric of whether or not it's okay to smoke weed is it positively affecting your life or negatively affecting your life? That's it. And like, what are you doing when you smoke weed? Are you are you doing nothing, or are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of others? Does it help you or does it hurt you? There are people that spend money on it when they should be buying food and shit for their kids, and they definitely shouldn't be smoking weed. You got to prioritize your shit. And there are people who smoke weed because if like the stress and anxiety of life would kind of make you a dick to your kids. Yeah, you should smoke weed. And like there are people who, like I mentioned, just smoke weed, and that's kind of like all they do. And then people will point to them and say, oh, well, that person, the weed made them that way. The truth is, a lot of people like that, they do have serious problems that they're using the weed to cope with the difficulties they're facing, and they're not getting the help they need, and so they're turning to the one thing that they get. You may recall, I did the same thing with alcohol for quite some time, and it was I had all these problems. I had post-traumatic stress from the crucifixion and abandonment by my father and all that, and instead of actually dealing with it the way that I should have, I was trying to find peace in the bottom of a bottle, and spoiler, it's not there. It's within myself, and I gotta take care of my shit, my own temple, and clean that up instead of trying to dilute it with something else that's not going to help the problem at all, and may aggravate it. So if you are one of those people who people are pointing their finger at and saying, hey, that guy's got a stick in his eye, and they have a log in their eye, because that's the way the metaphor works, and you are one of those people that just isn't taking care of your life and smoking a lot of weed, I would maybe find a counselor or something, or taking so you call a moral inventory of yourself. Why is it that you're not getting your shit taken care of? And if it is the weed that's making you unproductive, then maybe you should consider another hobby, or perhaps when you smoke weed, just smoke weed at night, and you got to do your shit during the day, or you can't let it become a negative factor in your life, which it often is. But for some people, it is, and there's some people are just stupid about it. Smoking around their kids, or smoking a car, get yourself arrested, and then you can't be there for your kids, or you can't drive around because they took your license away and all that kind of shit. So just be smart about it. Don't blow your money on it. Treat it just like any other thing that you enjoy doing. If say you get drug tested or something and you work in a place where that's not allowed, then that is something you have to take into consideration, as whether or not you should. But that's not a moral thing. That's just taking care of your shit. Also, they do sell those little thingamajigs where you put it in your piss, but unfortunately they do a lot of the hair pulls and blood tests and all that crap, because apparently some workplaces really care about this shit. But not about meth. So, to answer your prayer, I think it's very fair to say that no, smoking weed is not a sin. I would not be mad at you for doing so. It's the same as eating anything, eating tacos or hamburgers or whatever. If you're eating a bunch of shit and it's unhealthy for you, then you're not taking care of yourself. If weed is becoming a problem for you, then you should either reduce or eliminate or find some way to make it so it's not a problem. Like if you're eating so much of whatever that your health is suffering, well, stop fucking eating it, dude. It's pretty simple. Same as alcohol. If alcohol is a problem for you, don't drink it. If it isn't, then I'd say drink it, but it's not a sin for you to do so. It's still Sunday, so if y'all haven't paid me yet, make sure to do that. 10%. Although we are going to have a special in the next few weeks. For you convert to Christ, you get 5% off your tithes for a year. In fact, I'm going to make another video on that. Tell your friends, though, it's another deal. If you convert someone to Christ, you get free tithes for a year, too. Maybe you get 2% of their tithes. Sorry, I'm just thinking ahead. It must be the not weed. Lol. Anywho, have a hashtag blessed day. And remember to like and share this video. And if you haven't accepted me into your heart, may you find me now. Good evening.